I agree. We need better quarterback play. Here's my concern, and then I want to get your thoughts. And I know people are gonna disagree, but I think we cost ourselves a national championship last year, and maybe even this year by not getting that Utah coordinator. I'm not sold on Denbrock. Now I know what he did at LSU.
Ooh, now this is a contrarian take. I have not heard this one. Walk this one out for me. Now you got my interest. Walk this one out for me. Explain your thought process here. I love that.
Okay, and so, and just so a little credibility, I do coach high school football. I played at a smaller level, but we won. But here's the thing. LSU has that speed. They have guys 4 or 5 wide receiver deep, right? Notre Dame's strength is the O-line, tight ends, and running backs. So if Denbrock comes in, and I'm excited for Riley, and I'm not saying he's not the guy, but I'm worried about it because we don't have the wide receiver room for that kind of offense. We're built more like a Michigan or a Utah, right? Where we got to run the ball. I'd like to keep 3 tight ends on the field, bring another line and just keep teams off balance. Maybe not in that sense of like, oh, we have to have all these receivers out there. But if our O-line is as talented as all the experts say and our wide receivers, we should be able to run the ball with these running backs. Denbrock's first time at Notre Dame, we were okay. We didn't light the world on fire. And now he's coming back. And I hope, it's going to be different with like Carr, Deuce Knight, and Riley Leonard. But I would much rather see us take that Utah style of offense or Michigan style than what LSU did last year. I'm legitimately worried about that for 2 reasons. One, don't know if Riley Leonard can do it, and even if he can, is he going to be healthy enough? And then what other quarterback can run that's behind him? So those are my concerns.
You don't think that here's where my mind goes is that's been one of the big talk. Okay, Mike Denbrock could go back to Notre Dame, but he's not bringing LSU's talent with them. And there's no denying LSU's talent. They just got well represented in the early rounds of the draft. All those skill guys they had with quarterbacks and multiple receivers going. My thought is more just about the well-rounded experience Denbrock has. With 30 years or whatever of doing this, it doesn't have to look like LSU's. The point is, I find value in his experience to know how to get the most out of what our guys could do. I don't want him to try and make it what LSU did because we don't have the same setup and the same kind of guys. But I am confident he'll be able to squeeze more juice out of what we do have. That's what I think he's going to be good at, not trying to make us LSU, but I think his experience will allow him to take what our guys can do and then make it happen on the field. That's where my mind's at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm playing a little devil's advocate, right? I'm not totally disagreeing with you, John. Look, he's been in, how many national championships has he won as a coordinator or been part of? That's my concern.
Yeah, but okay, but then, all right, but you're playing devil's advocate. Let me play the advocate to that devil.
Okay.
Expand this out. Who is that OC then? Like, if that's the level of like you had to win a title with this and having the, like, I don't know, who are we going to get then? Like that, like, like there's not a lot of options that fit that bill of like, you have had to ride this all the way to a title and then also want to be at Notre Dame and all that. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's really hard for me to say, who else would you have wanted? Like, Parker wasn't working out. Don't you agree it's an upgrade for Parker? Tell me you agree with that.
Oh my God. Like, some of the stuff he did, I was just like, what? I mean, this guy wouldn't make it in.
I was like, what? Yeah, you said what? And then Troy said, we want you to be our main guy. like, thank you. I really appreciate that. And then what about Cincinnati? Maybe that's a better connective tissue than LSU because of the talent and the way LSU's been. Riding Cincinnati then and going to the playoffs, maybe that's a better connective tissue with that talent. What do you make about that?
No, that's a great point. I'm not against Denbrock, just so you know. I'm concerned. Is that fair to say? Like, I'm just concerned.
Yeah, it's just it's a take I've not heard a lot of with all the Notre Dame concerns. I have Denbrock on the helping me feel less concerned, not more ledger. That's why I find this so interesting.
So here's what, and I know this is gonna like. People are going to be like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I would look for a coordinator, probably in the NFL, associated with certain teams, like maybe like a run first team, the Lions, or like the Lions, the 49ers, or maybe even, I would look down at maybe that D1 AA. Some of those programs have some great coaches. I know, like, there's a recruiting aspect to everything. So I get it. I'm hopeful, but I'm concerned.